Perry had always believed his life was simple, steady, and safe. His marriage to Bonnie, his childhood sweetheart, felt like a storybook, one he thought would never crack. But one ordinary evening changed everything. He hadn't meant to listen. He hadn't planned to. Yet there it was, Bonnie's voice, soft, familiar, and speaking to someone else. A man's laughter. Her words, intimate, tender, and careful. Perry's hand trembled as the reality hit him, she had forgotten to hang up. For 37 minutes, he overheard a conversation that would reshape everything he believed about love, trust, and the life he had built. He felt numb, broken, betrayed. And yet, somewhere deep inside, a question lingered: could this be explained? Or had everything he held dear been quietly unraveling? Before we go deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're new here, click the subscribe button so you never miss our upcoming stories. Perry, 34, calm, hardworking, and thoughtful, had built a life on steady routines, quiet evenings, and small joys. Bonnie, 32, warm, compassionate, and endlessly giving, volunteered, laughed easily, and lit up every room she entered. Together, they were admired by neighbors, friends, and family as the perfect couple. Yet, in the quiet corners of their home, small signs began to whisper that things weren't as seamless as they appeared. Missed date nights, curt replies, and distant smiles hinted at a growing emotional space between them. Perry noticed, yet he didn't push, telling himself she was just tired or preoccupied. Lately, she felt distant, he reflected. I didn't push it. Maybe I should have. Little did he know, these subtle moments were part of a story larger than he could imagine, one that would challenge not just his heart, but everything he thought he knew about trust. It started innocently enough. Bonnie told Perry she was going shopping with her sister. He trusted her, he had no reason not to. Later, a call came to check in, a brief exchange that ended normally. But then the phone rang again, and Bonnie didn't realize it was still connected. Perry froze as he heard background noise that didn't belong. Laughter, not her sister's, a man's voice, low and intimate. You know he still doesn't suspect a thing. Perry's heart pounded. His world tilted. The person he loved, speaking this way with someone else, and he hadn't known. And yet, the truth he feared most hadn't even revealed itself fully. That weekend, whatever it held, would change everything. And Perry sat there, silent, gripping the phone, listening to a version of life he hadn't imagined could exist. Perry strained to hear, his chest tightening with every word. Bonnie's voice, calm yet conflicted, whispered, I don't know how long I can keep lying to him. It didn't sound guilty, it sounded familiar, intimate, layered with trust for the other person. The man responded, measured and patient, we'll figure it out. After this weekend, we'll know if it's worth it. Perry's mind raced. What did that mean? Where was she going? Who was this man? His thoughts spun like a storm as he replayed the audio over and over, searching for hidden clues, anything that could explain what he was hearing. Each second stretched longer than the last, and every pause felt like a verdict. Yet beneath the fear, a quiet hope lingered, maybe it was a misunderstanding. But as the minutes passed, Perry realized he had stumbled onto something that would define the next chapter of his life. Shock hit first, immobilizing him. Denial followed, urging him to rationalize what he'd heard. But then, when Bonnie whispered, I don't want to hurt him. Not after everything he's done for me, and the man replied, you're allowed to be happy too, Perry felt his heart shatter. Months of subtle signs, the missed smiles, the distracted answers, the errands and excuses, all snapped into painful clarity. His mind circled back to every quiet moment he had misread, every reassurance he had taken at face value. 37 minutes of listening left him numb, breathless, trapped between disbelief and fear. Could love survive this? Could trust be rebuilt when the foundation had been so quietly shaken? And as he held the phone, he realized the truth was far more complicated than he could have. Then came the recognition, a voice so familiar it sent cold fire through Perry's veins. Not a stranger, not a coworker. It was Evan, Perry's childhood best friend. Betrayal took on a new depth. This wasn't just a secret between husband and wife, it was a friend, a man he had trusted since boyhood, standing at the center of the storm. Perry's hands shook. His stomach churned. The double betrayal was almost unbearable. Memories of summers, shared secrets, milestones, they all twisted into sharp, painful edges. And just when he thought he had reached the limit of his despair, Bonnie spoke again, and her next words would pierce deeper than anything else he had heard that day. Bonnie's voice trembled. "I think he knows something is wrong. He asked me again if I still loved him." Evan's calm question, "Do you?" lingered in the air. Silence stretched almost 10 seconds, thick and heavy, before Bonnie whispered, "I don't know anymore." Perry felt an emotional collapse so deep it left him hollow. His mind raced with the possibilities of what he had imagined, and his heart ached with the weight of assumptions and unspoken truths. It was in that silence and those 3 devastating words that the fragility of human understanding became painfully clear. Distrust took root, and Perry became relentless. He checked phone records, dozens of calls deleted, evidence of secrecy. Bank statements revealed restaurant visits he didn't recognize, charges in towns he hadn't been with her. And a message from Evan months ago, casual, yet loaded, same place as last time. The picture grew clearer: secrecy, hidden burdens, and emotional intimacy had been building for months. Each revelation, painful yet grounding, forced Perry to confront the unknown. What had been happening behind his back, and for how long? When Bonnie returned home, Perry confronted her gently. She said she'd been shopping with her sister. When he pressed for details, asking where she went afterward, she froze, then said, "Home." Perry didn't need more. The phone, the call logs, the missing minutes, everything told him she wasn't being honest. Bonnie's face drained as he revealed the evidence. And just as despair threatened to consume him, she began to speak, something Perry never expected. Tears fell freely as Bonnie confessed, she had been meeting Evan, but not for love or betrayal. She had been diagnosed with a chronic medical condition months ago, and Evan had been her emotional support when Perry's work consumed him. "I don't want to hurt him," she explained, had meant she didn't want to break his heart with the truth of her illness. After this weekend, referred to her final medical tests. Even when Evan asked, "Do you still love him?" it was about her fear, not infidelity. And yet, she admitted crossing emotional boundaries, confiding in him more than her husband, creating moral tension, a complex human story about fear, love, and the limits of honesty. But one final secret remained, one that would decide the future of their marriage. Bonnie revealed why she had kept everything hidden. Months earlier, she had overheard Perry, exhausted and overwhelmed, talking to a friend. He felt like he couldn't keep holding everything together. She misinterpreted his words, fearing he'd be better off without her. Her silence had been love, fear, and protection intertwined. The weight of misunderstanding, of human fragility, pressed upon both of them. Viewers feel the ache, the pain of love complicated by silence, and the courage it takes to reconcile. Finally, they spoke honestly. Perry admitted he never meant to make her feel alone. Bonnie apologized for leaning emotionally on Evan. They shared tears, laughter, regrets, and fears. Evan stepped back, giving them space to rebuild. They decided to seek counseling, embracing honesty over fear, commitment over resentment. And in that shared vulnerability, they found a fragile but growing hope. The emotional honesty, the willingness to confront pain, offered viewers a sense of catharsis, truth, reconciliation, and the power of human connection. Weeks later, Perry stood beside Bonnie during her medical appointments, listening, supporting, holding her hand. Slowly, trust returned. They renewed their vows privately, with tears and laughter, reaffirming love stronger than before. And the lesson lingered softly: sometimes betrayal isn't what it seems. Sometimes the truth is hidden behind fear, not malice. Healing, understanding, and courage can restore what seemed lost. What would you have done in Perry's place? Could you have faced the fear, the silence, the hidden truths, and chosen love? Or would the pain have been too great? Share in the comments where you're watching from, and what choices you might have made. Reflect on the ways fear, miscommunication, and vulnerability shape the lives we share with those we love. If this story touched your heart, tap that like button, it helps us bring more powerful stories to you. And don't forget to subscribe for new emotional, gripping stories every single day. Together, we explore the complexities of love, trust, and human connection, stories that stay with you long after the screen goes dark.